It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, back the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Ask you something? I said, can I ask you something? Ain't I'm clean?
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway. But I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in no time, switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
You don't understand. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
I mean, TikTok. I mean, TikTok. I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. Dance with me.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
I don't mean to be out of line. I don't mean to be out of line.
Daddy.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
I think we OD'd. I think we OD'd.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
that's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming. Got the big, I hit the loop juice. It pulls up in the deuce. I hit the walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming.
Lean and walk, lean, walk, lean, walk. Do a lean and walk, lean and walk.
All right, I forgot my glass. See if I can get through it without my legs cramping up. I've been meditating for about an hour, so I should be able to get through. We didn't go to the picnic. It is, what does the watch say? It says 97 degrees.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Damn, this thing be listening. What is it? We got 97 degrees. See what the phone says. Now the phone says the same thing. It's excessive heat warning. Tomorrow's supposed to be 97 again, then 89, 87. So it's gonna be nice all the way through the weekend. But let me see. The air quality they say is moderate. That's interesting. UV is high. It says the sun is setting at 8:07. It was dark by 8:30. So the long nights is about to creep in. 12 mile power wind. It says the humidity is 52%, so it feels like it's 107. I just ran to the store. It's hot. We were supposed to go to a picnic, but it's like. But you know how I start my day, and you know what I talk about. I talk about being the pickleball guy. And so today was no exception. Again, you know, I get up. I do my ropes. I eat some before I go, do my rope work, get the rope, put the rope behind the local sign, and you know, quick hands. That's what it's all about. It's you know, you can define your arms, but when it comes to pickleball, it's quick hands. And I didn't play for 3 hours. I played a lot less. I don't know. I was trying to think. I lost 2 to them. I think I played 15 games. It's only 2 hours worth. So I went today. I might went 11-4, something like that. I lost maybe 4 or 5 out of 15. So I went something like 11. But this is what's interesting, and this is what I said before. I did the same thing yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I ever saw someone pickle 2 teams in a row. And I mean, as I said, girl played with me. Team beat us like 4 or 5. They beat us to 11. I played with the 2 people. We switched people. I pickled the first person with that woman. I pickled the second person, which I had never seen. And then today, I pickled one of the best players out there. And this shows you I know my skill set because I played with Christine. And a lot of times when people play with cheap paddles, it affects their game because they pop the ball up too high. I've had a paddle like hers, and the power comes really from underhand. When they say carbon fiber, you don't really want that because you don't have as much control. It really just pops off your paddle, and that hurts control. Those paddles are really a lot of underhand power you can get for those type of paddles. They're really good for a lot of underhand play. I mean, you really have to master this type of play because a lot of times you're just going to pop the ball in the air. So that's how Christina's paddle is. She's not, she shouldn't be playing with the advanced people, but her quickness and she has good defensive skills. So when I played with her, Candace beat me and her. I think we got 4 again. So we play next. what is it? Michelle comes, and I love Michelle. Michelle can really cover the court. I mean, she's quick, and she said she done had her ankle redone. She said she has an artificial ankle in her foot, and or she has had it reconstructed, and but she is so quick. And we pickled Candace and Christina. We literally pickled them, and because I pickled Michelle too. And so Michelle was, I think she was kind of tickled to be on the winning side of pickling somebody. And so altogether, my whole workout was, so altogether I burned 1,932 calories. My exercise was 136 minutes. So I didn't quite play as long. Right now, 6,954 steps, 3 miles worth. Standing minutes was 160 minutes worth of standing, 4 flights again. Oh no, it got me 8 hours of standing. Standing minutes. I'm not sure what that is. See what my walking heart rate was 91. Resting heart rate was 57. Yeah, and so I exercise 136 minutes. So yeah, so a couple hours. I got right? 60, 60, 120. Yeah. Yeah, so I got about 2 hours of exercise in today. Okay, my heart rate variability. Okay, I got my heart up to 249. Yeah, I got my heart. Yeah, it says right here the workout was 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah. So my heart rate, I got it up to 249. And yesterday, I told you I was going to swim yesterday. And yesterday, my swimming distance added to be 400 yards. It's kind of cool. They can do all the different strokes you do. And so I swam only for a half hour. I only swam for a half hour yesterday. I'll probably swim longer today. So, and again, it gave me my cardio fitness above average. And it's fun. It's fun. And I got there at 8 o'clock. Wasn't as many people. A lot of times when it's hot, a lot of people don't come and watch and don't play. And that's kind of what it was. By 9, 10, 11 o'clock, it started to really heat up. And so, my endurance is great. I never get tired. That's what's interesting. And as I said before, I play in the Jordan 37s, and they are such fun. They keep your feet warm. I really think I'm quicker because that's what I was talking to someone, and she was saying, because the thing the pickleball courts do is they just wear your traction out. And the traction is still holding great, and I feel I'm a little quicker. Tomorrow I'm going to switch shoes and wear the Viper Next. Which I don't really feel I lose quickness, but I just feel that Nikes, I'm just a little quicker, just because of the way the shoe is built. But the Viper Next, I'll wear tomorrow. It's a different type of shoe, but still effective. It's still effective, So, and so that was my day today. We are going swimming anytime. My brother-in-law gets off about 2:30, so I know we'll be shooting out there anytime now to go swimming, and I hopefully get an hour of swimming in. Yesterday, as I mentioned, it was mild, and the water is kind of like, if the air ain't hot when you get out the pool, it's like, all cold, so I have to get into my stomach and put my hands in until my whole body can acclimate. But that's what we'll be doing. We'll be going swimming, and and then yeah, that's what we're gonna do later. We're gonna pick up my great nephew. Him and my daughter just fighting stuff as normal. They're kind of like siblings almost. They're around each other so much. Oh, let me show you what's really cool. My mother gave me this. Oops. Just an old feather. And it's good to have feathers around. A lot of times when you sage, what a lot of people do when they sage and they feather when they sage. So you see, I'm about burned up this piece of sage. But a lot of people, and so just a special gift that someone had put together. It's probably my grandmother's, I'm guessing. So just something new and beautiful for the collection. That's all. Like little turkey feathers. That's all. Just something together for the collection. Something positive to bring into the crib. And as mentioned before, I had like 2 hours of great meditation and just seeing how far I can take my mind. And I started off with the skull. And the skull consciousness, as I mentioned many times before, all the skulls are technically connected. Just as somewhat the crystals are all connected, but the skulls are more connected than the crystals. There's a consciousness, there's a skull consciousness. And it's almost the only way I can really kind of describe it. It's almost like putting on a helmet, but the helmet is the skull. And then seeing through those eyes. That's kind of how it is. Um, this is my a full week of She Legit, and it really makes the Vision Quest clear. So again, I had some problems getting it, especially the better price and the better quality from India so far. I haven't been able to really get the quality I have right now is okay, but it's I've had where it's a bitter, and the kind I have now is not quite bitter, so it tastes like it's some type of syrup in there too, like maple syrup they mixed a little bit. So I'm not quite sure, but it does seem to still make everything clear. And I just wanted to come out here in this daytime because I don't really. Saturday night is the only night I really podcast on the weekends, or podcast like do the Chocolate Mountain Show. So I'm down to doing the Chocolate Mountain Show just once a week. Again, once football season starts, probably we'll do Sunday nights as well. Recap of the games played, because I like to point out the fix in pro sports. And it's interesting that people still, it's like I heard some people say that there's people out there that really don't even understand that wrestling is scripted. Oh. And so, let me answer him. Can't make plans without knowing. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I think everyone should take the time to meditate daily. It's very helpful into putting quiet in your mind. Some people don't have a way or outlet to quiet their mind. And that's really when you have full control, is when you can quiet your mind at will. Now, I've said many times that a meditation can be simple as a blink, a reset. You're talking to someone, you kind of want to reset, and you can, take a longer blink. I mean, meditation can be that quick. So that doesn't have to be all this deep thing and how far and how deep you can go. It doesn't really have to be that. If you can't achieve where any visions and things are coming in, it's simple as just quieting your mind and quieting all the mind outside of you. And it is a chance where you can actually walk into your real self. Because once you quiet your mind enough, you start letting in what's inside of you. You start letting in, and it comes out in different colors and visions. And what's cool is a lot of times the guides just come through. They just come through. They just kind of, okay, you're okay. I remember one of my guides came through back in 15. We had the longest night in something like 500 years. And one of my guys came through like he was full. He had a chair. He's full in a golden chair. And he just came through to say, check on me. I'm like, woo. So at the time, he's moving my Kundalini thinking, but it was like, he's like, hey, sometimes we get to let you know we're with you like this. And that could be a good thing. El Dragon, Amaru Khan, how are you? And I know you definitely have
You got to have vision.
Oh, very kind words. Thank you for the very kind words. And that is love. Loved everyone. Loved everyone. It is what did the Beatles say? All we need is love. And that's a good way to kind of start it is say, love is if you put love in all your attentions, it changes your perception sometimes. Because say like you see flaws in someone, well, love will let you see the flaws in yourself as well. Because a lot of people don't see flaws in themselves. They can point out flaws in other people, but they don't point out flaws in themselves. And that's what you should understand is that's what know thyself means. You should know yourself. As I've said multiple times, when you know yourself, you never lose anything. Because if you know yourself well enough, you know where you would put it. Unless you're walking around the house looking for your keys and your keys is in your pants. But that's a common thing that anybody can kind of do. Just kind of till you feel your pants. And I'm the constant hitting pants to feel something. And so I hope everybody is staying cool. I know the air conditioning is going to do a lot today. I had to give my flowers extra water because I got them out. They're out in my west, so they get a lot of light. I noticed that I'm gonna start bringing my flowers back in because this is the last really warm month. But I wanted my flowers to be real flowers and to feel what it feels like to be what they naturally are, and they're naturally things that deserve to be in nature. And so I like them to have nature energy. So when I bring them back into my house, they have the nature energy. And then they will get accustomed to being back in the house. As long as you give them love. But it's like if you have a home, you should have flowers all around your home, even outside, where if you live, again, in the summertime, because it helps the harmony in your house. It helps the vibrations of taking care of something, service to something outside of yourself. Because there are things that we have around us that if we don't take care of them, they wither. Same with animals. You got to take care of animals. Something that depends on you. Unless your cats go outside, you feed them. I mean, they will kill a mouse and bring it to you because they don't think you're a good hunter. So they feel they have to hunt for you. That's why they bring you things. It's like, okay, here you go. You done gave me all this food. This is something I'll get back for you. And we lived near the lake here when I was living in Prior Lake. The cats was constantly. And I remember the owners was like, there's no mice around the house. I'm like, lady, we live next to a field where it's a cow pasture. And you're telling us no mice. My cats was tearing mice up. They were catching them, tearing them up. And even mostly the females was getting them. But then one day my male cat came. He's like, hey, I got one for you, Dad. I'm like, okay, thank you. Good boy. He used to eat spiders. And he's my same cat where I had them damn pincher bugs. And he ate all the pincher bugs moved into a house. And we rented a house because we knew we were going to buy a house. But we rented a house for about a year. And then we bought a house. But while we were renting it, this dude was like, man, I can't get rid of these pincher bugs. Well, my cat is a scaredy cat. And he hid in the rafters. And he literally eliminated all the pincher bugs by eating them. I know him. He ate them. And so the pincher bugs was in trouble because he had a scared cat that at first he didn't come up for the food. Probably, they used the bathroom. The bathroom, he would be by himself because it was kind of in the laundry at the time. And so our animals that we take care of can do amazing things for us. We have people that have animals that they want around them all the time. It makes them feel non-anxious. I told the story yesterday about my nephew. We dropped our nephew in college. He hasn't been feeling it, and he's probably back today. And so, looks like we're going to end up having to put him in the transfer porthole. School started today. I think he did register, but I don't think he didn't go to class. So classes started today. And so it's too bad that he felt that that it was too much for him to be away from home. And he did get an offer to play junior college basketball here. And it does beg to say, well, why didn't he take that offer in the first place? Who's to say? But some people are cut different, that's all. For me, it was like there was nothing they could do to make me leave. Once I saw the way everything ran, I was like, you dudes ain't gonna make me leave. These college coaches may cut me or whatever, send me home, take away my scholarship, but can't none of you niggas do that. And ain't nothing y'all can do to me to make me leave. And that was my mentality. And I remember one dude, I was hanging with him. It was like 30 of us freshmen. And I think that second year, only less than 10 of us came back. I think it was only 8 or 9 of us back. But I remember just listening to him cry because he was like somebody I became cool with. And I was just listening to him. And I'm like, I can't be associated with you. You're defeated. You're defeated. They've defeated. They've defeated you. And sure enough, I detached myself from him. And he left. He left. I think his name was Chambly. Don't know if he ever played. And he was a big dude. He played offensive lineman or defensive lineman. He was like 6'5", 6'6", 240, 250. Again, they lost. They lost him because of the hazing, I would pretty much say. And it was a lot of hazing, but I mean, just regular bullshit. None of that frat kind of shit. And so, and there was, you know, it's the old athlete thing is, you'll be back. You know, the old athlete thing, he ain't shit. He gonna be back. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all ever, that's the thing they say. Well, you gonna be back. And when I left Kalamazoo, Michigan in 1979, I never moved back to Kalamazoo. I lived in Battle Creek where, you know, which was Michigan, but I never moved back to the town I grew up in. I never lived there again. And so when I left, I was gone for sure. And so that was a challenge to me. But other people, you know, I don't quite understand the challenge. I don't think my daughter's going to go through this. She goes to summer camp. She's used to it. And so when she goes wherever she goes to college, I don't think it's going to be that big a deal to her. Again, she's already had her horizons expanded by going to camp and staying for a couple weeks. Now, I know my nephew went down to Florida and played AAU basketball a couple weeks ago, so he was gone. But it's not the same as, you know. And again, you know, as I said yesterday, from a working class family, then going to something that he achieved. Because when you get a scholarship, that's what you achieved. And what you achieved is the level it is. And what he was able to get on his own was a junior college scholarship. Now, what his parents have gotten over the last 20 plus years, that's what they have accumulated. But we'll still give him love and give him support. He did get an offer before he left. I think I can say it. Khalid Alameen is coaching junior college. Khalid Alameen that played for the Bulls, that played with UConn, won a championship with Rick Hamilton. His son played on my nephew's team. You know, I've known Khalid for at least 10 years. And so he's coaching now. He was coaching high school basketball last year. Now he's moved up to the junior college rank. And so we'll see. We'll see if that's an option for my nephew. So I'll probably see him later. He'll probably, after his five-hour drive. I just wonder how he got some of his stuff back. Because some of that stuff ain't, because he has a 525 BMW. No, 325 maybe. Yeah, the 5 Series, they traded and got him a newer 3 Series, I think it's called. So he's coming back now. And on the other hand, we ain't got to drive down there in the winter because in the wintertime, going up to North Dakota from here, yeah, you're going way north. Like even though where we had to go is west, we're starting to go northwest. Devil's Lake, from Devil's Lake to Canada is only 45 minutes away. And Devil's Lake was really beautiful. I was surprised how beautiful it was up there. but it was nothing up there. I'll say this too: the people were defeated. Like the rich Indians, like this. I've been showing the last few days. This is the biggest one in the country, right here. This is the biggest powwow in the country. These people got money. Something generally, it's almost most tribe members. Where I go play pickleball is on the reservation, and most tribe members make 50 to 200,000, the range of 50 to 200,000 every month. Remember the story? I see the dude all the time, but he gets on me for talking shit about it. But he was the dude that tried to take his his cash card, his Cash App card, and tried to buy 2 demons. You know, he tried to buy 2 demons with a cash card. It's like, because he got a check. This cat, when he turned 18, this cat literally got a check for $900,000. He turned 18, took his check, took it to the bank, and, you know, again, he didn't have a financial literacy, so they signed all the papers up. He went to pay for it. Then he's calling, he's like, hey, why ain't it working? It's like, you know, it takes a minute for it to clear. But most banks know that too, but he just didn't know that. So he gets on me when he sees me. He's like, I know you talk shit about me because I saw him at the powwow. He's like, you see that demon out there? It's out there now. And he got him a big old house. But that's how well they live. That is not how well the people I saw in North Dakota live. And my girl asked me, she said, what energy did you feel while you were there? And I was like, man, the people felt defeated. Especially the native folks. I didn't see many melanated folks either. Like maybe at the Walmart, a few, but not really. But the natives looked defeated. It was interesting. And it was like even the Europeans weren't that, I don't know, even they felt defeated. It was a very, very, so I'll say this about that place. You know, it was felt like very low energy of the people. Very low energy of the people. So that's something was going on. You know, I was looking over the news today, and it's not a lot of debauchery. I know it's early in the day, but it's not a lot of debauchery going on in the world. Oh, Jalen and Sue, thank you for joining me. And I know you got to have
vision.
Yeah, there didn't seem like there were too many. Yeah, I looked at, okay, I didn't check them out. There's not a lot going on today in the world. Oh, they're going to name a highway after one of the officers who got shot. What? Obama's leadership. This is something that, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if this is everywhere. Yeah, I wonder if this is everywhere. I want to understand this a little more myself because my daughter was kind of talking about this.
For most of our students here in Minnesota, it is back to school in just about 2 weeks. And when they head back, free school meals will be a reality in all Minnesota public schools.
Now, did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? Our children don't go back for 2 more weeks because we love our children. We want our children to only go to school in the summer for a week or 2. But some of y'all out there, y'all don't like your children. You make them go to school in August during the middle of the summertime. Middle of the summertime, the people out west and the people down south. Why do you hate your children so much? School is not supposed to come back until Labor Day, after Labor Day. So y'all hate your children out there. But here we go. I'll let them tell it. My daughter was telling me this. So this is the reality.
Schools.
While many districts applaud this change, they're still concerned about losing out on some major funding.
Well, I don't applaud this shirt. This is trash. It looked like something you'd wear on Hee Haw back in the day. But let's go.
Pauline Lee is here with what families can do to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a lot of money, and this affects students wherever they go to school in Minnesota, right? Before this, if families wanted to take advantage of that free school meal, you'd have to fill out that application for educational benefits to get it. But that application is tied to so much more than just the meal. That's why districts like Minneapolis are trying to get the word out that even though meals are billed as free, families still need to fill out those applications this year. Now, unlike districts like Anoka, Hennepin, Prior Lake, Minnetonka, so many others that are anticipating an increase in breakfast meals, Minneapolis has served universal breakfast for more than a decade. So it's actually anticipating a 10% increase in lunches served this year. Roughly 54% of students in the district are considered free and reduced. And
well, even though I am the most successful man who makes, let me see, how much money did I make this year so far? Let me see. Sly gave me 20. Nick sent me 10. Doe-Eyes, she gave me 5. So I think I'm up to $800 and some a year. So I get free lunch. My daughter used to get free lunch, and my son, because I'm the most successful man. But still, when you're the most successful man that only makes $800 a year, then your children get these kind of benefits. But what's interesting is where my daughter goes to school, they don't have breakfast because they don't take state funding or national funding. And they have like my sons used to go to school there. Where my daughter is going to go to high school, they have technically a Starbucks inside that makes Starbucks. I mean, the food is that good because they don't take any government money. So it's going to be interesting because my daughter said this same thing. She said that everybody gets free meals, but it's Minneapolis. So but I think it is statewide. But again, I wondered cities that opt out. Prior Lake is one of the cities that opt out, and Prior Lake does not serve breakfast. I mean, literally, when my children started going there, the teachers started bringing breakfast because I started complaining. Like, how don't you make breakfast? It's proven that children are smarter, even though my children would eat before they left, but my children had to take medication and stuff, and so they'd get a little hungry because they was some crazy little motherfuckers. So they had to medicate them niggas so they wouldn't tear the shit down. But anyway, let them continue.
The district gets a substantial amount of funds to help those students for things outside of the meal. But of course, that's only when the families fill out those forms. Not filling out that application could result in schools losing out in hundreds of thousands of dollars. Districts could lose out on millions, and that's not including the cost families would have to pay.
So if the districts don't collect those applications, there's a direct impact on the individual school with some of the funding. For families, it also impacts, busing, internet, athletic event, all of that is tied to that application.
Minneapolis continued to collect these applications as good practice throughout the pandemic, even though meals were paid for. But filling out those forms, again, they affect all school districts throughout the state this year. Ideally, families, you have to fill them out by October 15th, guys.
Yeah, I'll be filling mine out, you can bet. So if she wants some milk or some apples, as they say, she can get them. Oh, it is so funny. It is so funny. What was this?
Just a horrific.
Huh. Okay, I don't know about this. We'll hear this together. Something happened to somebody. We'll hear this together. Lean and bop, lean, bop. Lean, bop. Okay, here we go.
Davis Adolphus women's college hockey team tonight. A car crash in western Minnesota has claimed the life of one of their goalies and injured 3 of her teammates.
Where are they from? Western Minnesota.
Has claimed the life of women's college hockey team tonight. A car crash in western Minnesota.
Minnesota. See that Yooper accent?
Car crash in western Minnesota.
Minnesota. Does she have a magenta? Let's go.
Has claimed the life of one of their goalies and injured 3 of her teammates. Paul Bloom live for us tonight on the Gustavus campus. So, Paul, school has not started yet, but it sounds like there was an impromptu vigil for the student athletes and their families today.
Amy, as you mentioned, still summer break here, but there's staff around, the fall student athletes, soccer, football, cross country, they've reported to campus. This is, of course, a tight-knit small college down in St. Peter. All the athletes know each other, so the loss of a popular hockey player, the crash involving 4 total teammates really hitting home here on this campus. Of course, everyone grieving the loss of promising soon-to-be sophomore goalie, Jory Jones.
Yeah, she was a very solid person all around. Her goaltending, she did a lot of things incredibly well, and we had high hopes for her as she worked through her years here at Gustavus. She was very well balanced in her approach to going to college. She's a super student, and it was a seamless transition for her to.
And that was 19-year-old Jory Jones' coach here at Gustavus, Mike Carroll. I spoke to him by phone. He is still processing this news. Jory and 3 teammates, Lily Mortensen, Caleb Bloom, and Gianna Gasparini, were all in the vehicle west of Wilmer Sunday afternoon. According to the State Patrol, the player's Chevy Equinox and a Dodge Caravan colliding at a 2-highway, 4-way stop intersection out in Chippewa County. Unclear at that moment who had the right of way. Again, Jones, who played her prep hockey at Roseville Area High School and got some experience as a first-year netminder for Coach Carroll's national championship team here at Gustavus. She was killed. 3 other players survived but suffering various injuries. Today, Monday afternoon, those on the Gustavus campus gathered at the chapel to grieve, to pray, and to light candles.
This was a devastating thing to the Jones family and our family here at Gustavus, and you know, can imagine it's tough, but we're going to work through it.
And Jory's family wasn't ready to talk about their loss on camera, but sent me this statement to Redden Park. Quote, "We would like everyone to know how much Jory..."
Wow, 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 wow. And people don't understand how big hockey is. Now, I come from, Detroit is called Hockey Town. I grew up, I still love hockey. If you come here with me and we go to a hockey game, you'll have one of the funnest times. It's way funner than a football game. You're talking about people screaming for the whole 2-3 hours. Hockey is like that. But I think Gustavus won Division II, Division III champion. It's the smaller college. It didn't win Division I championship. This year, wow, who won Division? I watched it because we got knocked out. I think we got knocked out in the Frozen Four here, the Gophers. So I had to think. I don't think it was North Dakota. I'd have to look, but so it's big here, and so these people, the amount of hockey that these people play as little people on up. Again, I've said this many times. All our parks have hockey ice rinks. Like if you come to the Twin Cities, I bet it's 10,000 ice rinks. I think it's probably more than that. It's like every park, like the park in Prior Lake has 2 ice rinks. Matter of fact, they have 2 ice rinks, a warming house, and they have like just a sheet of ice where anybody can skate on. And they have pickup games, like basketball pickup games. They have hockey pickup games, and they have hockey leagues outside. And so this is a pretty big, sad deal. Kind of sorry for them and their families. We send love. We send love to them because I just caught this.
Summer break is over.
I don't know what's happening down here. This is we have, a lot of schools here, and I passed here. This is about an hour. Now where the crash happened is about 45 minutes, because my bud man lives down in Owatonna, so it's about 45 minutes. It's legal here, so he can, I'm not telling on him, but he lives about 40. I got to go down there and play pickleball with him. He says it's beautiful down there where they play. But but St. Cloud, like where I just went to Devil's Lake, St. Cloud is on the way down there. St. Cloud is roughly an hour northwest of me. And so I read this earlier and was wondering what's going on with St. Cloud.
State Huskies who returned to campus today, but this school year students will have fewer classes to choose from.
The school is dealing with budget shortfalls after enrollment continues to drop. Jennifer Hoff tells us how the school is moving forward.
It's that time of year when students go back to school, but at St. Cloud State University, the door is closing on more of its departments, including theater.
It's hard to see it go.
One Hannah Ryder graduated from last spring.
It wasn't really until my second year there that there was talk of the department closing down.
Falling enrollment is to blame. Some 6,000 students in the last decade alone, leading to a $24 million budget deficit, as we first reported on 3 months ago, forcing the university to drop dozens of degree programs and professors then, and now announcing another 19 faculty positions will be eliminated this year.
It is really frustrating to watch them continuously cut back on the very things that bring students to college.
Jenna Ternega heads the union that represents teachers at all 7 of the state schools.
What is happening is a very short-sighted approach to solving budget issues. It does not look far into the future, and instead it is very focused on just, right now.
She says the latest round of staffing cuts affects 15 departments. The school's still calling it a proposal, and due to contracts, can't be more specific, saying it is a difficult decision.
I wish it were different.
From religious studies to philosophy and theater, departments are disappearing, a place that for Ryder was more than just a college campus.
It's hard to see a place that I called home, disappear.
The department did confirm that it will be performing a musical this semester.
Them theater people didn't put no bread into college. That's how that works. That's all that is these theater people, you getting these degrees and you not putting bread back into college, the donors. But again, this is a small, probably St. Cloud State. They're Division I. They might have won the hockey. I think they won hockey this year. St. Cloud State might have won hockey. This is a hockey school. And that's what's keeping this university afloat is hockey. But, and they have the St. Cloud State have football. I don't think so. I don't think they have football. So, it's just a fact of the world. If if your donors don't put a lot of bread back into the school, this kind of thing happens.
And the few students who are still left in the program will be able to graduate in the spring. At St. Cloud State, Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.
Yeah, so that is unfortunate. But to lose 6,000 students, you'd have never thought that. You never thought that. You know what's funny is, and maybe I talked about this the other night, I'm not sure, but it was like last Saturday was major college move-in everywhere. I must have passed 200 cars, or you could tell they was moving somebody in. Like, especially when we got to St. Cloud State, a whole line of cars just went over, you could tell they was going to campus. And you could just see the way they was riding, the way the cars was packed, that these was college students. So it was like Saturday was National Take Your Child to College Day for sure. So that was interesting. And I don't, oh yeah, we got the fairs coming here. Yeah, I'm going to the fair. We have a nice fair here. Our fair, I counted it one year. This fair is 7 days? I counted the amount of money. It was just amazing, the amount of money just on fair tickets. Just on fair tickets. I think in the 7 days, it was something like 20 million just in ticket sales. That ain't counting doing the rides and the food, but it was like something like 20 million in ticket sales. And this was years and years ago. Because it's like now, as I said about the Mall of America every day has 35,000 people. Every day you can go in there, it's roughly 35,000 people, which that's the size of a city in most places. I mean, most people, you can't. There's nowhere you can go where you're going to be around 35,000 people. But the Mall of America, that's every day. On the weekends, it swells up to 100,000. And so, some of these places that if people don't reinvest, they don't make it. They don't make it. So, but that's the thing. Let me see. I talked about this the other day, and I watched it.
Today, neighbors are.
I watched it, but we talked about the shooting where 8 people were shot. This doesn't tell much different. Oh, Amelia got her hair different. She's got her hair different.
Angry following a mass shooting at a busy Minneapolis intersection on Sunday.
It happened near Franklin and Chicago Avenues at 6 in the evening. Esme Murphy has new video from the scene of the shooting.
The dash camera from a witness's car shows a group of people running away from the shooting. Kesa Magan was driving.
I heard a quick succession of gunshots. I ducked, asked my uncle if he was okay. I checked to see if I was.
So they sell weed and rock and meth out here in front of
Dash
the
camera
store.
from a witness's.
That first dash camera was cleared in the second. Here we go.
The dash camera from a witness's car shows a group of people running away from the shooting. Kesa Magan was driving.
I heard a quick succession.
Yeah, that was more shots there. Let's go. So they're starting to hear the sound. So I'm thinking the shots are coming from generally this area, just by their reaction. This shot's hitting all around them.
The dash camera from a witness's car shows a group of people running away.
You can't really see where the shooters are unless the shooters are at this car right here. That's what I'm guessing. The shooters are shooting out this car, or they're somewhere standing in here shooting at them. It's not really clear.
From the shooting. Kesa Magan was driving.
I heard a quick succession of gunshots. I ducked, asked my uncle if he was okay. I checked to see if I was okay and then went through the red light.
He saw wounded victims running.
We can't accept this type of violence. People live in these neighborhoods. I live here.
Police say they aren't sure how many people opened fire. They found 41 shell casings, including some from a semi-automatic rifle. The victims are 5 young boys, ages 15, 16, and 17. One young man who was 18, a 45.
Now, what do you think this 45-year-old man and woman was doing? They was more than likely trying to buy some drugs from these young boys. I mean, think about their age. They were together. 48, 45 become victims. They was out there trying to buy some dope and just got caught.
5-year-old female and a 48-year-old male. All were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover.
Incredibly, this mass.
Yeah, this is one unattractive lady. She's really 4K didn't do this chick any. I've been watching her for years, and 4K, man, does not help her.
Shooting took place right in front of this Minneapolis police surveillance camera that was put here several months ago to deter crime.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Mahmoud Elmi owns this nearby small grocery. He says despite police patrols, crime is terrorizing area residents.
Because we have children, we have, law-abiding citizens.
City Council member Jamal Osman.
I think the issue is guns. How could a young man and small children have access to guns?
At least 2 suspects were last seen running away on foot, described only as wearing dark hoodies. No one is in custody. In Minneapolis, Esme Murphy, WCCO News.
All right, that's just kind of a follow-up of what I showed before. That was kind of the debauchery going on. I guess that area is known where people, hustle and stuff from that area. So not surprised, not surprised. I don't give a damn about Donald Trump. I don't give a damn about the fires. I don't give a damn about the storms in California. I mean, these people have lived in paradise for how long, and it's storming, and what do I care about that? Well, none of y'all sending me love when I was getting blizzards. When we got a blizzard in April, nobody was like, man, we feel sorry for the people in Minnesota. They're getting blizzards in April. So you know where you live. You live off the ocean. You know where you live. That is the possibilities. Guess what, though? There's no possibility of me getting hit by a hurricane. So if I could take, earthquake, hurricane, blizzards, I'm going with blizzards every time. I don't want to be around earthquakes, and I don't want to be around hurricanes. I take blizzards for 3,000. Thank you. What they say, smurricane, but you can call it hurricane. Oh. And it's funny listening to people philosophizing. People get into philosophizing and stuff. And who has the answer? The answer is 42. That's who has the answer. The answer is 42. Ooh, he's coming. What? Dang. They gonna let him. Wow. It's a local boy. I guess this is a local boy. Says Connor Erickson making his comeback 1 year after collapse on the field. Wow. Wow. Wow, check this out. Caught this. This looks kind of crazy insane. This is kind of crazy insane. Let's go.
On your screen, we see that there has been a crash. Several lanes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, being taken up right now. I'm going to try to see if we can listen in. We're being told this is out in Los Angeles. Oh, my goodness. You can see that car underneath that truck. It's another car that's underneath the truck. That truck drove over the back of it. My goodness. Disturbing images to see. I'm going to see if we can listen in and see if there's any audio coming from this chopper that we're getting this feed from in LA.
Is there another one over there?
I don't know. The helicopter people, they're having technical issues.
So right now they're talking amongst themselves, but I just want to stay on this shot really quickly so that we can see, you can see traffic is already backing up for miles. Debris scattered across the roadway out there in Los Angeles. Cars are finally able to go around, but my goodness, you see one car under the back of that truck that was hauling something, and then a truck over the back of that burgundy car. We're trying to figure out, my producer right now is trying to figure out what's going on so we can relay that to you. But we do know that emergency responders are at the scene. Traffic, again, going around. We see.
Wow, look how he destroyed the back of that car. Wow, look at that. Look how he destroyed the back of that car. He is all on top, and look at that. And this makes me think, I forgot about this. And this is the old ones. I imagine the new ones, but back in 80, 81, no, it'd have been 88, 89, 90, 91, somewhere in there. But watching how, I drove up on an accident and watching them cut somebody out with the jaws of life. That is amazing how they can cut a car damn near in two to get somebody out. That is quite amazing. It ain't shit to cut off a roof in the car with them. So it just makes me wonder if that's what's going to happen, because this yellow car is so underneath. I don't know how they'd get them out in this car. They're definitely going to have to, and that's what it looks like they're doing, is probably preparing to cut them out, because they'll cut that A-pillar here, and they got to cut that door open. That shit, it cuts it like butter. I mean, literally like butter. See what else they got.
5 lanes of traffic impacted by this. So we obviously, if you're viewing us from that area and you're running behind to work and you see this on your screen, definitely find an alternate route, because you will more than likely be late if you are running tight on schedule.
Look at that shot there. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Like, I don't even know how they're going to cut the person out, because the engine is pushed. I don't know. Well, I wonder what Brother Nick Taylor thinks about this accident. If he sees this later, maybe he can comment, because I know he's probably working. It's early. Well, not too damn early. I think he's on Eastern time. No, I think Texas is on Central time, too. Wow. Well, we hope everybody is okay. We hope they're okay. But this is quite a trip.
Another view, my goodness, it looks like a taxi cab. We're being told that Stu with Fox 11 will join us to break down what's going on right now, actually. Perfect. Thank you so much, my producer, Tania, letting me know. I'm going to pop up that audio so we can listen into what's going on.
When are we doing our next one? Get around. Come on, quick. Let's do this one right. I like it.
They're not really ready yet.
Why not? Well, we've got huge traffic troubles out here in the Sherman Oaks area. Take Take a look at that mess right there. 4-vehicle pileup with a lot of rear-ending action going on down there for sure. We are one person in critical condition. Now, the off-ramp that you see right there, that's going to be Sepulveda. The one lane that's open, that's going to be on the northbound 101 right before the 405. Let's take a peek at that backup. It is huge all the way through the valley floor this morning. You're on the brakes probably from Studio City till you pass that crash. Alternates might be Ventura Boulevard or Moore Park, depending upon where you might want to be going. Let's take a look at one other problem we got out in the Corona area, northbound 15 Magnolia Avenue, 2-vehicle crash out there. The right lanes are blocked, and you're reported on the brakes from Ontario Avenue. No matter where you're traveling this morning, it's a good day to head out, maybe just a little bit early, and get to your destination safely. Good morning, Maria.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Oh, well, things are tough all over, aren't they? Things are tough all over. Oh. What is this? Huh.
T News 5.
Wow. Okay. I guess this really is breaking. Ooh. Well, let's check them out. Ooh. This gets a ooh. I don't care about the story. I want to see them.
The Wave with breaking news.
In that breaking news, a school bus crash outside.
Ooh. Whoa, looking good in the summer outfits. Okay, let's stiff.
Of Dayton leaves an elementary school student dead, another with life-threatening injuries, and almost 24 hospitalized. Thanks so much for joining us here at 4. I'm Ashley Kirkland.
And I'm Lindsay Stone. Now, the bus crashed near Springfield, Ohio, with 52 students on board. The students are all from the Northwestern School District. WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick is live from the scene with the story. Brian, what caused the crash?
Yeah, well, Lindsay, it was a first day of school, but it was a tragic one. Investigators are telling us the school bus was headed westbound here toward the school when another car veered left to center, hit the bus. The bus went off the road and flipped. Witnesses tell us the children on the bus were very young elementary school age kids. Of the 52 students on the bus, 23 were taken to local hospitals, one with life-threatening injuries. State troopers say the child who was killed had been ejected. There are no seatbelts on the bus. We talked to one witness who heard the crash and started running toward the scene. She says the bus was on its top at the time. Children were walking on the ceiling of the bus to exit out the back. The witness said the children were in shock, crying, asking for their parents. She said she cannot forget suddenly seeing the child who was killed.
It was traumatizing. I will say that. I will definitely be looking out for help for what I did see. I will say that I'm sorry. Just being a mom, it hurt my heart, and I seen something that will probably never ever leave my mind.
Yeah, now that woman is also the mother of some of the children who go to that exact same school. She said the bus was resting on its top at the time. She says she, a police officer, a couple of other people actually got together and rocked that bus until it came over onto its side. And she says the child who died was underneath of the bus. Reporting live, Brian.
Wow. I mean, his wig, you can tell that's all wig, but yeah, this is messed up. Wow.
Hamrick, W.
I'll say this, you can Google this yourself, but they tried to put seatbelts in a bus, but this is what they say. They say that because of the padding in the bus, again, it's hot, summer, it didn't look, they showed windows down, it's hard to tell. I don't remember buses having air conditioning. Buses have heat, but I don't think most school buses have air conditioning. So that's why you saw the windows down. And that'd be the only way you really could get ejected is through probably an open window. But you can watch the test dummies they do, and it shows that the bus, they're actually safer without the seatbelts. But again, you couldn't predict a small child being thrown out of the window, the bus landing
on them. So we send them love, no doubt, love and healing. Love and healing. That is just too bad. That is just too bad. Sad story. Sorry to hear about this. Yeah, another one. And this is what we are getting we are waiting for up here. Our fair.
The Minnesota State Fair.
Our state fair. Let them tell you about it. You might want to come up here during the state fair. Oh, they got a place. I forget, it's about cookies. They give you a bucket of cookies like this. Like, there are so many cookies out. It's amazing when you watch how everybody's bucket is overflowing with cookies. I don't eat that shit, but it still is amazing for the people that do.
Is nearly here, and those who are already at the fairgrounds are getting those last minute things set, and they're feeling the heat today. Our Barrett Leone joins us from the fairgrounds as the countdown to the fair continues. Barrett?
Hey, Shayla. Yeah, it is just so hot out here. Oh, my goodness. And it's coming at kind of a not a great time for folks here setting up because it is crunch time before the fair. We're just 2 days away now, and exhibitors, vendors, everyone gearing up for the Great Minnesota Get Together come Thursday. And on top of that, they're needing to take precautions because of this heat. Now, we did catch up with folks at the DNR booth and exhibit as they were transferring fish into its pond display. The fish actually might have the best spot here today. We're told that the pond is made of well water and they're kept quite cool. As for the people busy setting up rides or gearing up to serve fairgoers food this week, they're taking other measures to keep cool.
Everyone's staying hydrated, getting inside when we can to cool off for a few minutes, but, just mostly working throughout the day.
They have cooling neck wraps for everybody. They have a water mister that'll be set up so that the employees can go over and cool down on the water mister.
Lucky for the fish, they shouldn't feel too much of an impact. The water here is all well water, and it is always 53 degrees. So they are, always good and ready to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind jumping in that.
What the hell is the fish for? It must be some shit smelt or some shit.
On right about now, Shayla. That would feel pretty nice. The gates open at the fair 7 a.m. Thursday. And of course, we know Minnesotans are going to come here, rain, shine, or heat. So they'll just have to stay plenty hydrated if they do come.
One thing I'll say about our fair, they bus everybody because they really don't want you to drive out there. So they bus. You can go almost anywhere and park. And it costs $5 a person, and they bus you. I mean, they bus you from almost a half hour, 45 minutes away. Some places, the Twin Cities, it's pretty big, but they bus you there, which is kind of a good deal. You ain't got to drive. You can get drunk, and you won't have to drive that far. So by the time you might sober up by the time you get back to your car. But yeah, that's the fairs here is kind of cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wore this necklace at the powwow. This is when I want to get in touch with the animal spirits. I wear this necklace. Hey, Pale Horse Rider, thank you for joining me. And I know you got to have
vision.
Yeah, but it's not cheap going out there to eat. It's expensive going out there to eat. It's no doubt about that. You're gonna see, but like our fair has, like they you can get they was the first to put pork chop or steak on a stick, that kind of shit.
T News 5 leading the way.
That you can get. They offer that. Yeah. So. Not a lot of real shit going on in the world right now, which is cool. Judge Hatchett. What? The sheriff groped the judge? What is this shit? The sheriff groped the judge? Let me catch this shit.
Yeah, the sheriff groped the judge. What kind of shit is this? Where does the sheriff grope a judge? He just had this, and she's not cute at all. Okay.
That he left. And what I really resented.
Okay, let's hear it again.
There is a scar that he left. And what I really resented is that someone could have that kind of power over me. That somebody could make me in that moment feel helpless.
I call cap. This chick is hit. This chick is beat with the ugly stick. And she telling us, like Richard Pryor said, he would go down. It's like he said, old European chicks would go to the police station and they, ugly chicks, and they been raped, and the police would go, "Are you sure?" That's what I would have gave her. "Are you sure?" I'd have gave her, "Are you sure?"
I have never felt so helpless in my entire life.
All new this morning, a sheriff is out of a job after admitting to groping a popular television judge. This all happened in Bleckley County, Georgia. That's just outside of Macon. Yesterday, Sheriff Chris Cootie pleaded guilty to misdemeanor sexual battery and resigned. He says last year he grabbed a TV judge, Glenda Hatchett's chest.
He poked me just momentarily in the chest. It's right in the heart of Georgia. But then he grabbed my breast. He grabbed my left breast. He squeezed it. He then started rubbing on my breast until Thomas Brown intervened. Literally had to take his hand off of me and push him.
Hey, he said,
"It's going down like this, motherfucker."
Let's hear it again. Now, tell us again what happened to you, babe. Tell us again what happened to you.
Started rubbing on my breast.
He was rubbing? What?
But then he grabbed my breast.
He grabbed it? Then what?
Grabbed my left breast. He squeezed it. He then started rubbing on my breast until Thomas Brown intervened. Literally had to take his hand off of me and push him off of me.
I think this gets, here we go.
What are we doing? 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 I'm sorry.
I am sorry. Ain't nobody grabbing her. This is Cap. Oh, this is Cap. This is Cap. He started rubbing. So he just in the moment, he couldn't fight it. He's like, "Hey, there's Judge Judy, and I got to rub." Or Judge Hatchett. He's like, "Judge Hatchett, I can't." And then she said somebody had to make her. He was like on him so much, somebody had to make him stop. "Hey, you're violating her. Make him stop." He went to the two-hand. He went to the two-hand fondle. I call Cap. I definitely call Cap on that. There's more. I want to hear. There's more. Let's see. Let's see. There was another. I got this from somewhere else. Where is it? Is this the same thing? No, that's newer. This is when they first started talking about it. This is when it was hot news. I want to see her do the fondle part again. All right, let's hear it. What you got to tell us more about this groping?
Glenda Hatchett spoke out this afternoon after a sheriff who she says groped her in Cobb County pleaded guilty to sexual battery. Fox 5's Kim Leffler was at the news conference today and joins us live. And Kim, Judge Hatchett says she feels like justice now has been served.
Damn, I got a Michael Kors shirt, but the sleeves is all the way down. Very similar though, but Michael Kors, but it has sleeves. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, she does. Bleckley County Sheriff Chris Cootie resigned effective immediately along with his plea.
This nigga's name was Chris Cootie. Okay, Chris Cootie. Chris Cootie could not help himself. He had to grope. He groped Judge Hatcher.
Judge Hatchett says she spent her career advocating for victims, but never thought she'd become one herself.
I am a very strong woman. I pride myself on being strong.
Like, look at this nigga back here. Now, I'll give him props for having a t-shirt on, but damn, where are you going? What was the little dolls called? Raggedy Andy? Raggedy Andy looking nigga. Damn, like really? You looked in this like, well, you know I'm going to be backing up Judge Hatcher today, and so I better wear the Raggedy Andy. This is some ugly shit. Like, this is never okay. This is never okay. Picnic table checker. All right, let's go. I'm sorry.
Judge Glenda Hatchett holding back tears Monday afternoon, speaking out for the first time after Sheriff Chris Cootie pled guilty to groping her last year.
I never expected that I would be so deeply affected by this.
It happened during a reception for the Georgia Sheriff's Association at the Renaissance Atlanta Waverly Hotel in Cobb County in January 2022, where the judge and television personality was an invited guest. That's where Hatchett says Cootie groped her breast.
I was welcome. People were just happy to see me. People wanted to take pictures. I felt very comfortable. And so for this to happen was just like, my goodness.
She filed charges the next day.
I had to file charges. There had to be accountability because the message needs to be clear that you cannot do this. How dare you do this? And if he would do this to me after having been introduced to him as Judge Hatchett, what else is happening?
But she's a TV judge, so technically you're not a judge because you're TV judge, but okay.
Hatchett says the support she's received over the last 20 months has helped her make it through, but she wants other victims of sexual assault to know they're not alone.
I am surrounded by so much support because I'm Judge Hatchett. But what about the women?
Okay, this is cap. This is cap. This is cap. Like really, this ugly chick and the dude is like, whoa, that's Judge Hatchett, and oh, I've got to get the right one. Oh, she's letting me not doing much. Then he said, I got the left one. And then he was so long, he's like, ooh. And she's like, whoa, whoa. Like, no, and then I guess somebody stepped in and was like, that's enough. You got enough of feeling on Judge Hatchett's boobies, so leave her alone. And she's like, court like, Judge Cootie was feeling on my boobies and, you know, I didn't like it. I want to press charges. And what did I tell you? The old lady that used to be in Peoria, Illinois, old lady nobody mess with. And what did the sheriff say? Are you sure? Judge Hatchett, ain't nobody grabbing on your ugly titties. Come on, get out of here with that. Nobody's grabbing you, Judge Hatchett. Nobody's grabbing you. Yeah, it's like, hey, you know, Judge Cootie. I mean, his name is Cootie. And really, think about this. This dude has got pension and all that, and it's just like, he couldn't control himself. Your pension is not worth crap. Your job ain't worth crap just so you can get a moment of grabbing this ugly chick's boobs. I don't get that. I don't get that. On the other hand, he was probably drunk. But, and don't anyone say, well, you know, Big Pontiac during the Big Eagle Hour says condones grabbing boobs. I don't condone grabbing boobs unless they are your personal woman's boobs, which it's okay for you to grab. If they're not your personal woman's boobs, you have no right to grab them. I will agree with that. But I'm just saying, when you look like this, I don't think there's a long line of people waiting to grab your boobs. I just don't get what is the odds that he would risk his whole career just a few minutes of grabbing. How did she say it? She said he was grabbing her right boob and grabbed the other one and was caressing. Looking like this. You know who she looks like? She looks like the Crypt Keeper. Remember HBO had the Crypt Keeper? She looks like the Crypt Keeper, but the melanated version of the Crypt Keeper talking about somebody grabbed her boobies. I call cap. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit.
Like I said, you go to.
That is some bullshit. So I say bullshit. Cap. That's cap. I don't believe in Judge Hatcher. Ain't nobody grabbing on you, Judge Hatcher. You lying. Cootie. Oh,
Hello, and thanks for joining us tonight.
She testified against this nigga. Oh, she testifies. I want to hear the testimony. She testified against this nigga. Let's hear what she said against him. Let's see. She says he testified.
Bleckley County Sheriff Chris Cootie is officially off the job and now guilty of misdemeanor sexual battery. He pleaded guilty this morning in Cobb County.
Oh my goodness. Look at how this suit fits him. Like this is I don't even think he must have went to Goodwill or something. This ain't even a suit from Macy's. Where this is I don't even think this is J.C. Penney's got better looking suits than this. Like this suit was not fitted at all. Look at the shoulders. Look at here where it should be tight. It's baggy. And like it almost looks like it's too big for him. This is horrible. You're on TV and like, wow, why the lime green, baby? Why the lime green? It's like, I got all this, what is this, gray maybe? And you just really thought the lime green would look good with your raggedy, no-fitting suit. Cootie's suit looked better on him. Cootie's suit looked good. Look how Cootie's suit fit compared to this. But okay, I get carried away.
State Court. Anthony Montalto takes us inside the courtroom to hear directly from the victim, TV judge Glenda Hatchett.
Cootie's lawyer says the former sheriff wrote a letter to the governor Monday morning, officially resigning from his post.
Okay, so wherever they live, they got these picnic table checkerboard shirts on sale. This nigga got one on too. What is it with y'all? You don't know. No. And you somewhere where it's hot. And okay, this is just like, wow. Damn, okay. I'll get carried away. All right, let's go.
Effective immediately. Cootie went on to plead guilty to sexual battery for groping Judge Glenda Hatchett's breasts at a Cobb County hotel bar last year.
This has cut me to the core.
You just heard part of Judge Glenda Hatchett's testimony in Cobb State Court Monday. Several supporters watched as she took the stand, detailed what Cootie did, and described how it's affected her.
For this man to come up and violate me the way that you did is unspeakable.
Then her friend, U.S. Marshal and former DeKalb Sheriff Thomas Brown testified. He told Judge Carl Bowers the night was supposed to be a chance for Hatchett to network for her consulting business.
I wanted to introduce her to some sheriffs there, so I invited her there.
Brown introduced Hatchett to Cootie and turned to speak with someone else. Then,
was that Cootie's lawyer? I hope that wasn't Cootie's girl. I hope that's his lawyer. Damn, Cootie.
And turned to speak with someone else. Then he turned around.
I saw his hand on her chest and immediately removed it and directed to him, "What are you doing?" And it was at that point.
Wait. Okay, she said before he had his hand on both breasts and he was rubbing on her. This dude said as soon as he touched her, he moved his hand. So how much rubbing can he do? He said he immediately moved her hand. Listen to what he said. He said, I immediately. So I guess the breasts, he grabbed them before he looked, and then when he looked, he's like, hey, I got to move them. He said he immediately moved her hand, though. He said immediately. So, like, I don't know.
And directed to him, "What are you doing?" And
Hatchett to Cootie and turned to speak with someone else. Then he turned around.
I saw his hand on her chest and immediately removed it and directed to him, what are you doing?
Okay. Now, she said he had two hands on her. He just testified he only saw one hand that he immediately removed. Right? That's what he said. She said he was double teaming. He had double trouble, and one, he got so comfortable with it, he was like, hey, yeah. Why would you, I guess he got hit by, he was a stalker, and that was his favorite actress, I guess. 'Cause she's an actress,
And it was at that point we immediately removed Judge Hatchett from the scene.
Hatchett says the assault left her shaken, but she's grateful for the support she got. She wondered about victims who have come before.
Man, where'd she go? Come on now. Does this look like somebody you would want to grope? I mean, even if I saw her on TV or not, I would not want to grope her. So, I don't know. Like, what is up?
For the support she got. She wondered about victims who have come before her as a judge who didn't have that support.
To be on this side of this?
Chick, you're on a TV show. You're never on the other side. Now, maybe she used to be a judge. I don't know. I don't give a fuck, but maybe. But not recently. If your show's you on TV, judge, you've been on the side you're on now. You ain't been on the other side if you ain't been a judge in the last 10 years.
It's very difficult.
As part of his plea, Cootie is not to have any contact with Judge Hatchett, and Judge Carl Bowers told him Monday morning if Cootie violates that order, he will lock him up. In Cobb County, Anthony Montalto, 13 WMAC.
Lee County Sheriff Chris Cootie is officially off the job, and
he said he will lock him up. So she put a protective order against him. They can't get together and get their lives straight. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then they had to remove her. They could have just whooped the nigga's ass. Why didn't they just whoop his ass? That to me. This is one Judge Galinda. Her name is Galinda. Oh, Galinda got more to say.
This afternoon, a South Georgia.
Galinda got more to say. What is? Oh my goodness, y'all! Look, okay. Magenta. This is definitely magenta. His bow tie is magenta. His pants are droopy. Not too bad. The jacket's okay. Pants are droopy. But that checkerboard back there gotta go. Come on. But look at her. Does this look like somebody you want to grope? Look at this mean mugging face here. She gave her a hug. I mean, does this look like a person that would somebody be like, hey, you on TV and I gotta grope you. You can't just get an autograph. You're like, hey, I'm glad to see you. So he was laying in wait. This is the story they want you to believe. Sheriff Kimby or whatever Sheriff Kimby, Cutto, whatever the hell his name was. He went there like he planned the whole day. He was like, I get to see Judge Hatchett and I'm just excited to see her. And soon as he saw this, he wanted to go up and grab it. It doesn't look like it's a lot to grab, first of all, but with that face, he was still turned on seeing this face. Seeing this face, he was still turned on. He was like, ooh, I can't control myself. There's Judge Hatchett. What do? I don't know what to do. And the closer he got to her, his heart was beating. Boom, 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 boom. And he's like, oh, Judge Hatchett. Oh, Judge Hatchett. He grabbed it. And then he was like, oh, I grabbed it. And I couldn't believe I grabbed it. And then he went in for the other one. And he said, oh, I had to get the other one. And he grabbed the other one. Then he said, I need to rotate it. Ooh. And then the guy turns around and immediately pushes a hand off. Because she said when he was rubbing, he was grabbing them both. That's what she said. He was holding one, he was rubbing the other one. But the guy says he just saw his hand on one. Was it cupped? Was it straight? Was it punched? Like how was he holding it? We missed that in the testimony. But come on, man. Come on, man. When your mug look like that, ain't nobody groping you.
Glenda Hatchett, an Atlanta attorney and star of a courtroom show.
On daytime.
Oh my goodness, let's look at this ugly face. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd put my hand, if I was that ugly, I'd put my hand in front of my face too. Come on, this is what they want you to think, that somebody really was just going so crazy. All right, enough bashing, enough female bashing. She was a victim, I will admit. She was a victim, Glenda. Let's probably check to see if she's probably so. You know, they said, I don't know if you ever heard of Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth was somewhere giving a speech in Tennessee or Kentucky, and somebody came on, was like, you ain't even a woman. He's like, you ain't even a woman. And apparently she pulled up her shirt and was like, does this look like this is a woman? I had so many children. So shut the dude down. I don't think this is the case, because this is an ugly, dried up looking, I don't know. For fake boobs. Yeah, maybe so. Damn, I don't want to show that. That is crazy. Oh, sheriff resigns, plead guilty to groping. Oh, he's a slep rock. I would like to. I wish they would interview him. I wish I would see where he says that he was sorry that he grabbed him. Sorry, Judge. You know, I just couldn't. What? I couldn't control myself, Judge. I couldn't control myself, Judge. I just had to had to grab him. She's my favorite actress of all time. So some of this shit is just beyond stupid. It's beyond stupid. But you know, we can go to it and laugh at these motherfuckers. It's so funny. It is so funny. Climate change fury. They want you to think about the war. What is it? Finland mill banning Nazi symbols. Okay, let's see what they got to say about this. Because I told you the Nazis did not lose the war. Oppenheimer is a prime example. The Nazis didn't really lose. Because remember, in Oppenheimer, he was trained by all them Nazi scientists. And he brought one of them in camp, and a couple of them in the MIT is the ones that stole the plans. So, and the movie tells you the bomb was made for the Nazis, not the Japanese folks. But okay, let her tell it.
Stands at a pivotal moment, a time of reckoning. It is confronting a complex history marred by both progress and a haunting legacy of racism.
Fair use, motherfuckers, fair use.
From violent protests against racism that shook the streets of France to racially abusive posts directed towards members of Germany's under-21 soccer team, incidents of racism have cast a dark and undeniable shadow on 21st century Europe. But tonight, our focus narrows as we shift our gaze to Finland, a nation rattled by a series of unsettling racism scandals that have ignited a resounding call for action against the backdrop of Europe's colonial past. Symbols of hate and division are being challenged, and one Finnish lawmaker is leading those voices. Ben Zykowicz's, a Finnish MP from centre-right National Coalition.
This is a weird-looking motherfucker. Damn, that is one funny-looking motherfucker, but let's go.
Party is pushing for a law to outlaw discrimination, armed with a vision that goes beyond condemning racism with just lip service.
Actually, the swastika goes back to the Verdas. The swastika goes back to the Verdas. Now, we do see in the Mayan glyphs, we do see also swastikas in the Mayans, their version of it, because it's actually kind of life. I mean, it actually represents motion. That's what it represents. It represents peaceful motion. Motion. And so, yeah, Hitler stole it from them. And yeah, so yeah, it's a very ancient symbol that has nothing to do with Europeans.
Also advocating for a
bull
by the horns. A series of racism scandals within the new Finnish government led to these calls for the ban. The Finnish MP essentially saying that it's not enough to merely condemn racism. A legislation must be adopted to outlaw discrimination. And his suggestion is on the ban.
All right, too much talking about some stupid shit. Yeah, too much talking about some stupid shit. Yeah, she took too long to explain the story. Oh, I like that. I like that. Damn, homeless encampments growing next to Beverly Hills. Wow. This is an old story, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, the weather's nice out there. And, I mean, they can stop homelessness if they want to, but they want the debt system. But I think I like that people are becoming more empowered and saying, hey, all this land we pay taxes for, we technically pay taxes for. And what we're seeing is almost a recreation of the hippie times, because during the hippie times, a lot of people went out in the deserts and took over, like we see in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You see, they took over movie sets. And that was very common, you know. And see, that's the part of the '60s that people don't talk about is the communal societies. And this was the reason of creating the Charles Manson lie, was because people were leaving the cities and starting their own colonies out on land that people wasn't using, growing, and a lot of them were quite successful, growing their own food, educating their children, and using herbs and stuff for medicine. So this is why they went to these movie people, these Hollywood people, and came up with the Charles Manson story, to force people out of the communes, because part of that society said, we don't even want to be part of your society. We want to start being separate from you. And that's a part of the '60s people don't talk about. And that is the only reason for the Charles Manson story, because they went after people after that. They said, no, this happened there. And anyway, the FBI could break that up and force you back into the cities. That's what you saw happen afterwards. But that wasn't happening everywhere. Again, that was all made up. Got all these people they done kept in jail for years and all this to tell a lie, to force people, to force their agenda of taking people out of communal societies. And that's what really you're seeing again. You're seeing communal societies living in open areas that are available in a place where you can live outdoors year long. Now, what they found here is, and it is dangerous, but you can live outside year long here if you have you can have space heaters. And that's what a lot of people were doing. They could apparently afford the gas to heat them, but that's what we had people doing here. I mean, it gets cold here. But that's what people were forced to do. And like our homeless situation was so bad, one time they had a bus route. It was that many children in the homeless camp, where they had a bus route of people having to go to the children being dropped off at the homeless camp. They had to create a bus stop for it before they went and raided the homeless camp. But that's how many children were affected. It was a bus stop. And you know what that mentally does to a child? Everybody seeing that you're going to the homeless camp. Do you know what that does mentally to a child? So, read my soul. What's happening?
Got to have vision.
And I know you have vision. It's funny you come in. I was talking to this guy that I played pickleball with. I've never met him before. He was wearing a pair of the Jason Taylor, the low ones, not the newest one, but the low ones that came out early June. Dude was playing with those. And today again, I wore the Jordan 37s playing. I wore the Viper Next tomorrow. But yeah, so I was interested seeing that. The guy said you could tell. He said he just bought them too. He didn't even know. I was like, yeah, them JTs. It says JT right on both tongues. It's a J and a T on both tongues, and then it's a little JT on the back. But yeah, so I was interested. And then another young lady asked me, she said, well, how have they been beat up? And I'll bring them, next time I do a show, I'll bring them up here and show you. Not like I beat up those Adidas. Like the Adidas look like, if you just wearing them on top, the Adidas shoes look perfect. But you look on the bottom, they're like, and one is the Donovan McNabb Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's the collector pair, the French, but the bottoms is tops look perfect. Tops look perfect. You know, pickleball, you play on a court, you ain't getting them dirty. But the bottom ones is, and that's what's the problem she was having. And she's one of the few that's like me, but she's left-handed, but she can switch hands to right hand. So, but I pickled her ass today. And yesterday I pickled 2 people in a row. So I'm up to, wow. Gosh, I think I've pickled 2, 5, 6, 7 people now. 7. I've pickled 7 groups of people. And so the skill is there. I'm peaking, where I wanted, when I wanted to peak. I'm peaking right now in my ability. As I said, we're going to go swim. It's 98 degrees, so we're going to swim anytime. We're going to get at least 3 hours of swimming in. We're probably going to swim from 6 to 9. I'm going to get at least an hour in. I'm going to drink beer. But I get 2 basketballs. And I do a couple swims side to side, but mostly I just float. And it takes all that inflammation out. And the sun is just shining on your head. So that's why I might have to cut this up. Well, we've got about 5 or 6 too. Yeah, it's about 5. So I imagine we're going to be leaving anytime. But yeah, so that's what I found. I found out so far. The shoes are really holding up so far. So, but it's bittersweet as we see the summer going. Yesterday it's 8:30. It was dark, and it's bittersweet. I do enjoy the fall. I think I've always loved the fall. I've thought that the fall was always a lucky time for me. I don't know how to describe it. I just always look forward to it. And football probably had a big part of it because it was always football. And I played football from, I think, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade was the only year I didn't play football. From 3rd grade on, no, maybe 4th grade on. From 4th grade on, I played football every year. And I played baseball, t-ball probably at 5. So it was always something going on. But the fall was always special. It meant football. Family gatherings, but football was probably the biggest. And I normally have football dreams this time of year. So, yes, you can dress better. You can dress better in the fall, no doubt. You can dress in the fall. Yes, definitely. That's what we used to always think. You can start dressing because you can. Like when I went to Minnesota, or excuse me, when I went to college in North Carolina. I really still, I wasn't ready. I would wear my cowboy stuff and walk around, and it was like, man, I can't dress. I couldn't dress until probably October there because it was so hot. Because all the stuff I had was, I come from Michigan and didn't want to just be shorts all day, but it was too hot. And it's like that now. Like today is just, I was going to go to the Mall of America because I'm going to get another arm, another saddlebag. And that's what they are. Oh, and saddlebags. The saddlebags, wearing saddlebags is nothing new. The first brother that made saddlebags popular was Fred the Hammer Williamson. He would always do interviews where he had the old cowboy saddlebags. So people forget that men have always kind of carried saddlebags. Goes back to having a horse. Once you got off your horse and you tied, you grabbed the saddlebag and threw it around your shoulder. And so you're just seeing a reemergence of saddlebags. Yeah, I know a lot of the people won't get that, but that's what you're seeing, a reemergence of saddlebags. And that goes back to riding horses. Because everything all your business would be in your saddlebag. Like your money and all that would be secure in your saddlebag. So once you tied your horse off or took your horse to the barn to get looked at and taken care of, had his shoes checked, you would take your saddlebag. So if you went into the hotel, you'd have your saddlebag and you take your saddlebag into the hotel. If you didn't trust the hotel, you took it with you everywhere you went. You remember they'd have the 6-shooters, but that's what we see, a reemergence of saddlebags. So I'm going to get one. Urban Outfitters, I think, was the name of the store. It had a better one than I have. So Yeah. Well, I think yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say. Next week is another full moon, so we'll start feeling the energies next Tuesday, yeah, Wednesday. Um, yeah, I think 30th is a full moon. Good, good. All right, and so it is. Here we go. Yeah, I think the full moon is the 30th, though. I think that's the full moon. That's why, we have the blue moon on the 30th, I believe. So going into, next Monday, we'll start feeling the full moon energies. So it's a good time to cleanse, a good time to heal. Full moon's always good for that. Okay, thank you. And so that's a good time to reset. And it's those kind of energies. It's reset kind of heal kind of energies. And so those that are with it, be with it. Those that aren't, that's on you. So that's for those that participate. I'm not trying to sway anybody any way or not. I know I'm putting my stuff out there. So and this is another one of my collection from my Omen collection. This is all jade. Can't tell how old it is. There's not a lot of patina on it. But this is in the classic style of the Omen. They made a lot of these. You see them buried with celts, which are axes. These figures is totally Omen. So no one would mistake this for Aztec or Mayan. This would be more Omen style or Olmec or Olmecabaza. But the correct word is Omen. So working with this jade today. Want to talk to the brothers, to this brother, he can open up a channel to see what that brother, because that brother's an oracle. This is the original starface flower. He's an oracle. Yeah, and so sometimes you have questions. You have to ask the elders questions. Be like, hey, what you think? And the answers can come in many different ways and forms, and you got to be able to read the answers if you do have those type of questions. But I hope everybody is joyful on this beautiful day. I hope the sun isn't too much bother for all the view out there, because it is up here. It's scalding. It's going to be scalding the next couple of days. Again, it's tomorrow. They're talking about we're setting a record. The record is 92, 93, and it's supposed to get 100, and it's 98 right now. So we're going swimming. And I'm gonna get prepared to go swimming. And this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. And I just suggest that everybody become stone free. Be free like a stone. Stone free. And so, till we meet again, say less. Oh, I gotta show the head too. I keeps the head around. And that shock energy too, y'all. I give you that shock energy. I just came back today. I just came back from the storm. Thank you. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I've been your funky host, Big Eagle. This is the Big Eagle Show. I am Big Pontiac.